14 minutes from now. Well, the U.S. House about to resume debate ahead of another vote to repeal President Obama's health care law. Republican Congressman Phil Gingrey of Georgia is a medical doctor. He calls this law un-American. So, Congressman, welcome back. And you know, this is the 33rd time that the House has tried to repeal this law. What is any different now than when you tried it the 32nd time, Congressman?
Cheryl, let's be very clear with the American people, and I know you want to be. Y'all do a great job of that, informing the American people, and the spin stops on your network. The 31st, 32nd time, we're talking about a lot of votes to repeal individual aspects of the law. This is, I think, really only the second time, possibly the third, that we've had a vote to repeal the whole kit and caboodle. So, I mean, the Dems love to keep saying that you've done this 32 times. What do you hope to expect? This is the second time that we have repealed the whole darn bill, and a lot has changed since the last time, January of 2011, when we had the repeal vote in the House successfully. Now, all of a sudden, people realize that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court says this is a tax, and it potentially is the largest tax on the middle class in the history of this country. So I think it's very likely that we'll get a lot more Democrats voting yes today, and maybe indeed Harry Reid will take it up in the Senate.
And you're going to have some Democrats on your side, and that certainly has changed, although that number is fairly small. But, you know, you basically said in a commentary that you wrote a couple days ago that the Supreme Court had rewritten the law. You're talking about the penalty versus tax debate here. But at the end of the day, what is the difference, in your opinion?
Well, there's a huge difference, because the Dems wouldn't dare call it a tax during the 2 years that they were in the process of cramming and ramming that bill down the throats of the Energy and Commerce Committee Republicans, and we weren't in the room in those backroom deals with all of those associations and organizations that bought on early because they got, their pound of flesh.
Sure.
No, this is absolutely an appropriate thing for us to do, because the American people want us to keep fighting. They don't want us to give up. Look, they want us to put our pants on. We can't go play a football game until we put those football pants on, and that's what we're doing today in the House of Representatives.
Congressman, I like the analogy, but again, it's most likely, as you know, going to go through party lines, and then it's going to go to the Senate. We know what's going to happen here. But let me ask you something else, though, in particular when it comes to Georgia. What many states are going to have to do, and we heard from Nebraska today, they don't want to move forward with the Medicaid side of this, is that they're going to have to cut elsewhere. In particular in Georgia, that is your state, same thing. You have said they're going to have to find the money and cut it from elsewhere. Education, other areas like that. What is your state going to do?
Well, you're absolutely right. You framed it perfectly. Governor Perry in Texas, of course, said the same thing in regard to Texas. Governor Deal has not come out and made a definitive decision. He's going to look at this very carefully. Governor Deal will talk with particularly the small rural hospitals, health care facilities, and what impact it would have on them if he does not accept the Medicaid expansion. So I don't think he's going to make a decision until after the election, and I think that's the appropriate thing to do.
Sure.
We've got a governor with a lot of wisdom, a lot of judgment, and he's not prone to knee-jerk reactions. So we're going to just, I quite honestly, though, I don't think we ought to take the expansion, because, you can go broke saving money. And you get a little bit of a bait from the federal government, and they hook you in, and once they've got you hooked, you can never get off the line.
I like the Southern humor, if nothing else. Congressman Gingrey, great to have you on the show again. Of course, we're going to get that vote later on this afternoon, about 3 hours from now. Congressman, thank you very much. Well, moving to Wall Street from Barclays to